pop star goddess Liu Ryan, my childhood sweetheart. She said she ran out of body wash at home, so she wanted to come over to my place to shower. Just as I was about to welcome her, I answered a call from her rumored boyfriend. It was from a live streaming variety show. "What's this up to?" he asked. I stood there, frozen. The next second, my little childhood friend, completely unaware, yelled from the bathroom, "Zhang Wanyu. Why isn't the body wash my favorite strawberry scent?" The internet exploded. The usually glamorous and touchable and cold goddess adored by countless fans had secretly hidden away a puppy boyfriend. I was just pulling the curtains, sneaking a peek at the latest episode of Liu Ryan's new show on my phone, when suddenly there was a knock at the door. I opened it, and standing there was the same woman I'd just seen on screen, chased by countless men. She was now wearing a loose pink slip dress, with long black hair draped over her shoulders. Holding a bath towel in her arms, she raised an eyebrow and looked at me. I swallowed hard, tucking my phone behind me. With a frown, I asked, "What are you doing here dressed like that?" "Liu Ryan is my childhood friend. We've known each other since we were toddlers. When we were kids, I treated her like a buddy I could hang out with anywhere." Who would have thought, in the blink of an eye, she'd turn into the dream of millions of young men? Since then, whenever we went out together, I didn't dare put my arm around her shoulders, nor tease her about her short duck legs anymore. Her 9 million fans, just one comment from each of them would be enough to drown me in their spit. If Liu Ryan found out I was watching her drama ... I can't even imagine how deafening her laughter would be. She tilted her head slightly, noticing the darkness in my room. With a sly smile, she remarked, "Someone's here, huh? Not convenient?" Feeling guilty, I shot her a glare and pretended I was about to wrap her up with a towel. She smirked and, standing straighter, teased, "Isn't my figure good enough?" The next moment, I could feel my heart about to leap out of my chest. After all, a goddess was standing at my door. Who wouldn't be a little shaken? She pinched my waist, and in the instant I winced, she slipped inside. "I ran out of body wash," she declared, "so I came to your place to shower. You don't mind, right?" Trailing behind her, I yelled, "You ran out of body wash, and you couldn't just buy more? The supermarket's just around the corner, and it's definitely still open. Couldn't she have come up with a more plausible excuse?" Moving quickly, Liu Ryan shut the bathroom door with a snap, turned on the shower, and started humming while she washed. I breathed a sigh of relief, put my phone down on the table, and turned to wash strawberries for her. She always joked that I was blocking her luck with guys, and said until she found a boyfriend, I absolutely had to wash strawberries for her by hand, or else she'd break my legs. Suddenly, my phone rang. Without thinking, I answered. "Hey, sis, what are you up to?" A sticky, syrupy male voice came through the receiver. "Long time no see, sis. I've missed you so much." Just those two short lines. Somehow, I instinctively imagined little squiggles at the end of each sentence. Then, in the next instant, I suddenly realized I had mistakenly picked up the wrong phone. Both Liu Ryan and I had the latest pineapple model phone. When she bought a phone case, it came with a free one, so she casually gave it to me. Without paying much attention, I had somehow managed to pick up her call. I glanced over at Liu Ryan, still humming a tune in the bathroom. Casually, I explained, "Liu Ryan is showering. Maybe call back in a bit?" "Showering? Who are you? What are you doing at her place?" The other end fired off a string of panicked questions. How was I supposed to explain this? I scratched my head, thinking things over, when Liu Ryan's voice drifted from the bathroom. "Zhang Wanson, why isn't the body wash my favorite strawberry scent?" Hurriedly, I put down the phone. "Why did you replace it with melon scent? Do you have some nerve swapping out my sacred strawberry scent? This is an act of disrespect." with her head poking out from the bathroom, crowned in a cloud of foam. Liu Ryan's face was flushed from the steam. I coughed nervously and fished out a new bottle of strawberry-scented body wash from the cabinet, planning to pass it to her through the door. But to my surprise, Liu Ryan gave a dramatic eye roll. She huffed, "Jong Wonson, are you doing this on purpose? Trying to sneak a peek again?" My cheeks instantly flushed. "What do you mean again? That was just that one time, okay? And besides, it wasn't even on purpose." The summer we graduated high school, we went on a graduation trip with our classmates. A girl sharing a room with her suddenly knocked, saying that Liu Ryan might have fainted in the bathroom. I didn't even have time to put on my shoes and rushed right over. Turned out, Liu Ryan had just relaxed a bit too much in the bath and had fallen asleep. For a split second, our eyes met, and I thought she would tear me to pieces on the spot. I even imagined where I'd be buried in this life and the next and the one after. But the usually overconfident bro like Liu Ryan, who acted tough around me all the time, turned red as a beet, wrapped herself in a towel, and bolted out. That long buried memory suddenly flooded back. Turns out Liu Ryan still thinks I did it on purpose. And to remember it so vividly after all these years, I wasn't going to let her get the last word, so I retorted, "Liu Ryan, is there really anything I haven't already seen?" She grabbed the body wash from my hand, her lotus-like arm dripping with water, and wiped a handful of suds right across my face. "Do you have a death wish?" I shook my head like mad. After all, she still had those photos of me in a dress from when we were little, safely stored in her phone. Satisfied, she hooked her finger under my chin and strutted back into the bathroom, continuing her karaoke session. When she finally came out wrapped in a towel, I tossed her phone back to her and said, "Here, it's yours. Your little bro just called, looking for you, and he seems to think I'm up to something. Isn't it you who first adopted a little puppy on the side? When's the wedding?" Liu Ryan glanced at me while scrolling through the call log, then said with a smirk, "I'm single, thank you very much. I'm fabulously solo." She casually lifted her still damp hair, and a few droplets trickled down her chest, disappearing into her towel. Nonchalantly, she tossed the phone aside, grabbed a strawberry, and bit into it, juice smearing her lips. "Aren't you going to call him back?" "Not convenient. I'll deal with it later." A sudden tightness seized my chest. Was she avoiding calling him back because I was here? Judging by his voice, he sounded suspiciously like the male lead from the show we'd just been watching. Their rumored romance was blazing hot online. We sat together on the sofa, with her light strawberry scent filling the air. Then Liu Ryan suddenly leaned in close. "My latest drama," she said. "Have you watched it?" Instinctively, I opened my mouth to say no, but she raised an eyebrow at me, and I shook my head frantically. If she ever found out I'd watched every one of her shows, she'd probably laugh at my grave. "Am I not stunning in it?" she teased. "All the male leads adore me. And you?" Her face was inches from mine, her gaze intense. I froze, holding my breath. I stammered, "Wouldn't know. I haven't watched it. Remember?" In the next instant, she burst out laughing, clutching her stomach. "Jong Wonson, I totally got you. Are you really that clueless?" I nearly had a heart attack, thinking she'd actually discovered my secret. But it was just a joke. I breathed a sigh of relief. Then, in a flash, I noticed Liu Ryan holding my phone. She smirked. "Checking your watch history would answer everything." The breath I just exhaled quickly caught in my throat again. I reached out, pressing one hand to her face, while my other hand lunged to grab the phone. Her arms weren't as long as mine, and she flailed wildly, trying to keep it away. "Short arms stay short," I teased. But suddenly, she darted her tongue out, licking my palm. In the moment of my shock, she tackled me, pinning me down on the sofa, feeling the warmth of my hand. Her whole body pressed against mine, and our breaths mingled in the space between us. Instinctively, I turned my head aside, trying to avoid her gaze. Short arms, she smirked. Are you trying to take advantage of me? Her hair tickled my neck, sending a shiver through me. Just as I was about to break free and push her off, the door swung open with a loud bang. Liu Ryan, I knew you'd be here at Zhang Wanson's. Her manager, Wang Ping, barged in, yelling. When she saw us tangled together on the sofa, she let out a piercing shriek. You, right here, in broad daylight, under the wide-open sky. Taking advantage of the moment, I quickly snatched my phone back. I quickly explained to her manager she was snooping on my phone. I was just trying to take it back. Liu Ryan tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear, casting a subtle glance my way. I was just doing a spot check. Manager Wang's skeptical gaze flitted between the two of us. Then she plopped herself down squarely between me and Liu Ryan, leaning in to ask her in a hushed tone, So, did you finally get it? Get what? Get which one? The main lead, or that clingy boy who just called? I perked up, all ears, ready to hear her answer. But Liu Ryan stomped on my foot and flashed a fake smile at her manager, saying, unless Zhang Wanson suddenly drops dead, there's no excuse for you barging in like this. Wang Ye rolled her eyes at Liu Ryan, then unlocked her phone screen. Ryan, you're trending. Wasn't Liu Ryan always trending? What could be so urgent that it required her manager to come in person? Then a second later, my eyes caught a flashing trending tag on her screen, followed by the search term, Liu Ryan hides her little puppy at home. My heart sank. So I had guessed right after all. In a serious tone, I demanded, when did you betray our revolutionary friendship? I didn't. Not at all. I'm fabulously single. Wang Ye shot me another eye roll and scrolled down her screen. There it was, Zhang Wanson. You're the puppy. Wait, what? Why were they calling names now? As Wang Ye opened up the trending term, I finally saw. It turned out that the earlier call was actually from Woo Hae-oken, one of the hottest young actors at the moment. He was participating in a live variety show, where the producers challenged him to call a friend and say, I miss you. Woo Hae-oken is, in fact, the male lead of that TV series. The other guests began teasing, saying, oh, Woo Hae-oken's friend must be Liu Ryan, right? She's usually so reserved with her words. But who knows, maybe she say a little more to Woo Hae-oken. Laughter erupted all around. Woo Hae-oken coughed nervously, and the audience chat filled with messages mentioning Liu Ryan, egged on by the other guests. He reluctantly dialed Liu Ryan's number, leading to the scene I'd just experienced firsthand. As the phone rang, Woo Hae-oken held it tightly, looking tense. Everyone in the studio held their breath. When the call connected, he spoke with a look of deep affection, saying, I miss you. This sent the host and the entire audience into wild screams. Then, they heard my voice on the line, saying that Liu Ryan was in the shower. The chat exploded into chaos, flooded with question marks. Wait, was that a man's voice just now? What did he say? Liu Ryan is showering? This can't be real. Has my goddess been hiding a boyfriend at home? In the next moment, they heard Liu Ryan scolding me about switching her body wash scent. The chat went absolutely wild. Zhang Wanson? Who's Zhang Wanson? He even knows her preferred body wash scent. The audience was convinced they must have an unusual relationship, just watching a variety show, and my goddess has already been claimed by some guy. Though, to be honest, I wouldn't mind watching the goddess in the shower either. The entire screen was packed with scrolling comments, but the real drama was still to come. Apparently, I hadn't hung up the call right away, and only when Liu Ryan scolded me for peeking at her shower did Woo Hae-oken frantically end the call. He tried to brush it off, explaining it was a misstyle, but the viewers clearly didn't buy it. What was the goddess doing? This has got to be a playful thing between lovers. No way! She's actually like this behind closed doors? What happened to the cool and touchable goddess? The host tried desperately to wrap things up smoothly, but the live feed showed the call screen in clear view on the big screen. The contact name unmistakably read Liu Ryan, and that distinct, cool voice of hers. There were few in the entertainment world with such a tone. The host quickly announced a commercial break, and the live broadcast was abruptly cut off, though the broadcast ended quickly. Within minutes, Liu Ryan's name rocketed up the trending list. Liu Ryan hides her puppy at home. Liu Ryan versus her voyeur boyfriend. The untouchable goddess actually prefers strawberry-scented body wash. Looking at these trending topics one after another, I felt completely blindsided. Finally, I understood what Wang Yan meant by puppy. Turns out it was me all along. This massive internet spectacle. And I was the only one left without a name. Amidst all of this, hordes of Liu Ryan and Woo Hae-okin's couple fans were furiously cursing me. After all, their drama was currently a major hit, with fans obsessively shipping the aloof beauty and the shy puppy persona. Some even believed they were a real-life couple. Woo Hae-okin had subtly dropped hints on social media, adding fuel to the fire, and had often made suggestive comments on shows. Now, Liu Ryan and I looked like nothing more than a scandalous couple, and I, the third wheel and the bad girl. I pursed my lips. Liu Ryan. I think I might have said something wrong just now. Liu Ryan lay back on the sofa, carelessly nibbling on a strawberry, muttering. The one who said the wrong thing was Woo Hae-okin. This has nothing to do with you. I looked over at her manager in confusion. Wang Yan clapped her hands in frustration. That Woo Hae-okin, he's always trying to create couple rumors, just to leech off Ryan's popularity. Today, even if you hadn't made it on the trending list with her, he would have found some way to get himself up there with her. He has no intention of honing his acting skills, just uses these shallow scandals to stay relevant. Pathetic. I nodded, understanding partially, but then a thought crossed my mind: would this harm Liu Ryan's career? Besides, Wang Yan added, she's at the age where some other puppy is bound to come along. Might as well let the one we're familiar with take the spotlight. We'll have peace of mind, too. She raised her eyebrows at Liu Ryan. This might be the perfect opportunity. Why not make it official? Then I can finally report back to your parents. Hearing those words, make it official, my heart started pounding wildly. I slowly turned my gaze away, noticing that Liu Ryan seemed to be studying my expression. Then, as if joking, she said, maybe someday. But not without a rose and a diamond ring. I gave an awkward laugh. The manager sighed, already making calls to coordinate with the staff about how to handle the situation, while consulting Liu Ryan for her thoughts. I quietly checked the trending topics on my phone, feeling their gazes darting toward me now and then. Finally, they decided Liu Ryan would appear as a surprise guest and do a video call on the same live show. Now, time for the final surprise segment, the host announced excitedly, holding a cue card up with a flourish. Suddenly, the large screen behind the guest switched to reveal Liu Ryan's video call. Hello, everyone, she said in a calm, collected voice, looking elegant and poised on the screen. The Liu Ryan next to me, now in full makeup, sat upright on the sofa, a far cry from the relaxed, strawberry-nibbling person from earlier. Her aura was once again untouchable and cool. The guests on stage waved enthusiastically at her. The next second, I squeezed in next to her, waving at the camera too. Hey there, I said with a grin. I'm Jong Wonson. I laughed a bit nervously. Liu Ryan raised an eyebrow, seemingly unbothered. The guest's eyes went wide in surprise. All talking at once. Ryan, is he your boyfriend? She replied coolly. He's my childhood friend. He was just helping me out. We ran out of body wash at home, just borrowing his bathroom, Liu Ryan added nonchalantly. The guests, ever eager to stir up some fun, continued. Is the supermarket out of business or something? A perfect example. Official shade can cut the deepest, but Liu Ryan merely tilted her head and smoothly brushed the question aside. After that, We started casually answering the guests' questions. Okay, I get it if childhood friends visit each other. But isn't answering each other's calls a bit much? Liu Ryan replied with a straight face. The phone case came with a freebie. I gave him the spare one. Our phones look identical, so a mix-up is perfectly natural. I nodded along in agreement. Then how does Jong Wonson know Liu Ryan likes strawberry-scented body wash? Isn't that a bit private? Liu Ryan brushed her hair back and answered calmly. As his childhood friend, I know all his private quirks, so he knows mine too. I nodded again, playing along. But then, the guests, eager to test the purity of our revolutionary friendship, challenged us to a try-not-to-laugh game. We each had to take a mouthful of water, then face each other without laughing. Whoever spit out the water in 30 seconds would lose, and have to accept a dare from the guests. I took a mouthful of water, and looked at Liu Ryan sitting across from me, cheeks puffed out. Back in elementary school, Liu Ryan grew taller faster than me, and she ate more than I did, often coming over to eat at my house. Even back then, she was exactly like this, her cheeks round and full of food, joking that she'd be my future wife, just so she could eat braised pork at my house every day. Thinking of that moment when she leaned close to me, wiping the oil from the corner of her mouth all over me, I couldn't help but laugh. But then, I accidentally sprayed a faceful of water onto Liu Ryan. Liu Ryan froze for a couple of seconds, then silently swallowed the water in her mouth. Right after, she stretched out her hand and pinched my cheek. Jong Wonson, do you have a death wish? As I clumsily tried to wipe the water off Liu Ryan, the comments on screen were nearly bursting. I finally completed this least noticeable part of the play. Am I some pathetic thing? Why do I have to see all this? In the end, the childhood sweetheart never wins against the destined one. Look at the way Liu Ryan is looking. It's far from innocent. And she even went straight for the cheek-pinching move. Her ears turned red. My goddess is out of character. My dreams are shattered. At this moment, Ohae-oken suddenly brought his face close to the camera, frowning with worrying and saying, "Ryan, are you okay? Is the water too cold? Hurry up and change your clothes." He continued, "I'll bring you some cold medicine tonight." But the water hadn't even soaked into her clothes yet. I had already wiped it dry. Not to mention, after taking such a big bath earlier, she wouldn't catch a cold. This concern is way overboard. The host didn't even have time to smooth things over when Liu Ryan already responded seriously, "No need. I don't usually let regular colleagues come to my house, especially with Jong Wonson here." Alright then. With that one line from Liu Ryan, our relationship just became even more mysterious. The comments went wild again. Ha ha ha! I knew Liu Ryan wasn't into Ohae-oken, so it turns out he was the one clinging to her. The main character herself said it. Just an ordinary colleague. If his acting isn't great, he should stop trying to rise by forcing a fake relationship. Bet he feels slapped now. All that forced chemistry just for show. Liu Ryan supposedly declaring Ohae-oken? Can't we just appreciate the genuine childhood sweethearts? Didn't anyone catch the real point? The point is that there's a puppy around. When did he show up? And where? I'm staying under the bed tonight to see it all unfold. Save a spot for me under there. Same here. Seeing the comments spiraling out of control, the host suggested continuing with the punishment for Liu Ryan and me, asking us to show the audience the latest photo in each of our phone galleries. I gripped my phone, feeling my heart pound, because the latest photo on my phone was a still of Liu Ryan. In it, she's wearing a simple school uniform, waving at the screen under the sunlight, looking just like the girl I once knew. Liu Ryan glanced at me, perhaps sensing my nervousness, and smiled at the camera. Let's respect his privacy. You can just look at mine. Her photo was of some ordinary sunflowers, but a warmth crept up my ears, because I knew these sunflowers were the very ones I had given her a few days ago. What did she mean by that? When the live broadcast ended, I still hadn't had the chance to ask Liu Ryan what that photo meant, but we'd already blown up the trending searches. During the live stream, Liu Ryan referred to me as a nobody. But then some influencer dug up that I actually have a social media account with tens of thousands of followers. Childhood sweethearts? Sounds more like a scripted act to me. Who even believes in pure romance literature these days? No body wash, so you borrow a bathroom and conveniently end up accidentally answering a call. This wannabe micro-celeb's climb to fame couldn't be more obvious. Honestly, this Jong Wonson sure knows how to act. Even pretending to be uncomfortable on camera, Oh Hae-okin would have to applaud him. And yes, I do have a social media account, because I'm primarily a computer programmer. In my free time, I share code snippets. Only a handful of videos incidentally show my face. If that qualifies as influencer status, then the internet's collective IQ is questionable. I kept scrolling through the comments under trending search terms, thinking, now everyone wants a taste of fame. Just look at the script writing here. Elementary school level, if you ask me. It feels off. If you're out of body wash, go buy some. Wouldn't a CEO type have an $8,000 supermarket in his house? Honestly, the writer didn't go bold enough. Even if they're childhood sweethearts. They're adults now, so why not keep a little distance? Sharing a bathroom? Calling physical closeness something innocent? My eyes are tainted. Isn't Liu Ryan usually the icy, elegant goddess type? In the end, she still ends up with a male influencer. Another case of scandal in the entertainment world. He's my childhood friend, she says. Wouldn't a true childhood friend have been out in the open by now? They really kept this hidden well. The one who loses the most here is still Oh Hae-okin, an innocent bystander, now labeled as a clingy guy. And when he showed concern, she just called him a regular colleague. Poor guy. Meanwhile, my social media DMs are at 9, filled with all kinds of obscene insults. If you're a man, stop riding on a woman's fame. Go get a real job. Anything's better than clinging for relevance. You leech. You hurt my beloved, so why don't you just disappear? Even the code I've worked so hard to share for years was reported and taken down. Late at night, I lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Is this what keyboard warriors are capable of? Suddenly, my phone screen lights up. It's Oh Hae-okin tagging me on social media. I'll cherish everything in the show. But outside of it, please, you must take good care of her. The post includes a 9-grid collage, 18 shots of him crying from different angles. Seeing this in the middle of the night, it's honestly malicious, especially with his collar pulled so low. ABS flashing just barely visible. Naturally, the fans below are all sympathy and affection. If Liu Ryan doesn't love you, she must be blind. We're here for you, Oh Hae-okin. From now on, we'll protect your chest muscles, brother. Wait a second. These photos, clearly meant for memes, have a definite whiff of tea. And now his fans are acting all wrong. Some Liu Ryan fans have even jumped into the comments, starting a skirmish with Oh Hae-okin's supporters. Look at this. My dear idol just spoke the truth. And now your brother is like this? Seems Liu Ryan's fans have spent years marinating their wit. They're sharp as ever, but still they're fighting in vain. In the end, our goddess was bitten by the dog. I think Jong Wonson and my idol are a better match. Way better than that drama queen. As if Jong Wonson were your ancestor, when he's just a fame-seeking poser. And yet you talk about him like he's some saint. The rest of the comments got even worse. I took a deep breath, wondering how Liu Ryan was handling all this. It was late, so she was probably already asleep. I shoved my phone under my pillow, hoping to just sleep until morning. I'd ask her about it tomorrow. The next morning, I turned on my phone, and there it was again, 999 plus unread messages. I was about to put the phone away and go back to sleep, when I noticed Liu Ryan had tagged me too. Her post was only about 40 minutes after Oh Hae-okin's. A simple caption with 3 words, true childhood friend. In the 9-grid collage, there was a picture of me as a kid, forced into a dress, while she was laughing so hard beside me that her tonsils showed. Another picture was from our middle school graduation, with her jumping onto my hair wildly. And from high school graduation, she was standing next to me, smiling in a short-sleeved shirt. And in the center of it all was that same photo of the sunflowers. Each photo brought back memories of all the little things from the past. The comments below were also filled with reactions from netizens. Wow, even those old photos of him in a dress are here. They've gotta be real childhood friends. Some people with dirty minds got slapped in the face, huh? Can't there be pure love stories in the entertainment world? This is the fastest Liu Ryan has ever posted an update in front of true love. Our goddess dares to be her real self. She's instantly switching from goddess to goofball. Who else gets it? A stoic goddess and her playful puppy love. Aren't you all into this? Liu Ryan didn't delete any of these teasing comments. In fact, she even pinned one and replied to it. Pinned comment, am I the only one who noticed those sunflowers? There must be a story behind them. Liu Ryan, they're from Guzi. Her ambiguous yet thought-provoking reply only made netizens speculate more wildly about our relationship. Liu Ryan continued replying to a few more comments. Fan, wait! I want to hear the full story. Liu Ryan, end of story. Fan, why didn't you just buy body wash yourself? Why'd you have to use his? Liu Ryan, save when you can, spend when you must. Fan, true childhood friend? Why was it kept under wraps until now? Has to be scripted. Liu Ryan, Programmer 007. Honestly, as a programmer, I felt slightly offended by this. What's with her subtle note of resentment? Soon, everyone started crowding my comment section as well. They even found Liu Ryan's secret account, an account called Short-Legged Duck. It had like every single one of my posts, and would occasionally leave late-night replies like, working overtime again? Are you balding yet, collapsing from exhaustion? A far cry from her cool, goddess-like public image. My inbox was also flooded with her fans' blessings. Working too much will be the death of you. You might as well go home and take care of my idol. Sigh. This programmer's heart feels a bit heavy. The entire internet sentiment shifted in an instant, from pitying poor Haeoken, his love unrequited, to hoping brother Jong Wonson can finish work early. While Haeoken stayed silent, acting as if nothing happened, the comments under his crying collage were getting overrun. Tens of thousands of comments saying three's a crowd in this story. Haeoken, take your chest muscles and move on. Our team was quick to respond to, releasing a high school graduation photo and a lawyer's letter. In the graduation photo, everyone looked young and full of life. The image was blurry, but Liu Ryan's beauty still stood out. I was standing behind her, playfully pulling her ear, and she was laughing freely and brightly. A true picture of youth, like a mischievous little elf. Even with a mosaic filter, my goddess is still a goddess. Who else gets it? It seemed like Liu Ryan was actually enjoying this. Before, whenever a co-star even brushed her hair, she'd pull away coldly. Talk about guarding her purity. Even a single strand of her hair belongs to her childhood friend. No other guy can touch it. Honestly, I'd never really noticed this before. When Liu Ryan and I mess around, there's often some physical contact. She even puts her hand on my waist sometimes, giving it a little rub. She calls it quality checking for my future girlfriend. I just go with it, picking her up with one quick move, letting her kick around in the air until she surrenders and admits defeat. Meanwhile, a public account had just posted a deep dive article. Is Liu Ryan's childhood friend real or fake? The post featured an insider who claimed, I was in the same grade as Ryan in high school. She was beautiful, no doubt about that. And everyone knew she had this little childhood friend, the kind they'd known since they were in toddler pants. Her personality hasn't changed much from then to now. Still the ice-cold beauty. But around her childhood friend, she'd turn into a total goofball. The two of them were practically inseparable, from classes to after school. They'd act like they were bros, but no one really believed it. After all, how many guy-girl pairs have purely revolutionary friendships? The gossip went on. No one dared to pursue Ryan in high school. You know why? But I wonder if now that Ryan's in the entertainment industry, she still cares about her little childhood friend. The comments were split, one side of her fans swooning over her cute duality, hoping I'd lock it down with her, while the other side questioned the insider's credibility, demanding they show a graduation certificate as proof. Only my mind seemed to be stuck, still turning over what was said in that post. If Liu Ryan was so beautiful, why didn't anyone pursue her in high school? Before high school, Liu Ryan always dressed like a tomboy. But once she got to high school, something changed out of the blue. Not only did she start growing out her hair, but she also surprisingly started wearing skirts. And as the seasons shifted into summer, Liu Ryan switched to short sleeves, showing off her now curvy figure. My old buddy, who used to throw her arm around my shoulder, suddenly had a desk stuffed with love letters. Her desk was piled with mini colas and bread rolls. Even during basketball class, her teammates would find themselves unconsciously whistling whenever they saw Liu Ryan, as they don't. That's when I finally realized Liu Ryan wasn't the same as before. While our classmates stayed up late to study, one by one, growing pale and tired with dark circles under their eyes, she remained fresh and radiant, like a newly harvested radish straight from the field. I started teasing her, asking if she'd forget about me once she had her own harem of admirers. At that, Liu Ryan just rolled her eyes, saying men are like clothes, but you are my forever puppy. And then, overnight, all her suitors vanished. I joked that maybe she was too fierce, and that's why no one dared to keep chasing her. She twisted my ear, saying she was saving herself for her future boyfriend. Back then, I didn't dare tell her that a part of me was secretly happy about it. I couldn't say if it was love, but I cherished the time I spent with Liu Ryan. I even selfishly hoped that she would be with only me. But later, after we graduated high school, I chose to study abroad in the US, while she was scouted during her freshman year, and officially entered the entertainment industry. During those nights abroad, my feelings for Liu Ryan became even clearer. I longed to return to her side, even if it was just to be near her. During that time, I'd spend late nights in foreign libraries working on my thesis, while she gradually rose to national fame as a star. When I graduated, I received offers from well-known international tech companies, but I turned them all down, because all I wanted was to return home and see her again. I remember she picked me up from the airport that day. As soon as we saw each other, she rushed over, her nose a little red, and teased, "Why didn't you bring back an American wife for me to see?" She squeezed herself into my arms, looking up at me. I just teased back, "None of them could compare to my superstar." There was a hint of a sob in her voice as she replied, "But you left for so many years. If you hadn't come back soon, I would've." She didn't finish her sentence, but in that moment, seeing her again, my heart pounded fiercely. After that, she even moved next door to me. But somehow, being around her no longer felt as easy as it used to, because I had new feelings stirring. I wanted to have her, to be her boyfriend. Now, seeing all the chatter online, I'm afraid I can no longer keep this little secret hidden. If she found out that I liked her, that I've liked her for a long time, would she leave my world forever? Would we even be able to stay friends? Right at that moment, my phone buzzed with a call from her manager. "Once in," she started. "I'm just saying, are you serious? Ryan's practically feeding herself to you, and you're just sitting there. If you'd wised up back in high school and seen how much Ryan cared Your son would be running errands by now. Wait, what? Are you saying Liu Ryan likes me too? On the other end, Sister Wang let out a loud shriek. You're so clueless. Why else do you think all her suitors vanished overnight? She's been saving herself for you. So that time. Those words she said, Liu Ryan meant them for me. I scrolled through my phone, looking at the 10 gigabytes of photos I had of her. Lost in deep thought. I remembered the time we were aimlessly wandering on the sports field, when a few guys came walking toward us. I recalled they were the same ones from before. The ones who had whistled at her during basketball practice, even publicly declaring their feelings on the podium. I scrutinized them carefully. Not that handsome. Their noses weren't as tall as mine, and they were shorter than me, too. And their chest muscles were unimpressive, too. I lifted my chin, feeling rather smug, as the guys walked past us. I caught bits of their muttering, jealous, much, over what, though? I glanced at Liu Ryan beside me, convinced it was her usual aloofness. That poured cold water on her suitors. So I started advising her not to be so harsh. Liu Ryan, while talking about saving herself for the right person, was still holding my hand, leading me around the track again and again, until there was no one else in sight. Looking back now, had I missed the real point all along? I wanted to know the answer. So I picked up my phone, scrolling to my pinned contact on WeChat. Short-legged duck. Will you be home tonight? Her reply came almost instantly. Yes. Wait for me. I have something to tell you. I couldn't help but smile, typing a few words back. Perfect. I have something to tell you too. Later that evening, I heard the door of the next room open and followed her inside, but the next second, I quickly stumbled out, my face burning red. Liu Ryan had been changing down to her bare shoulders, putting on her home clothes. Even in that brief instant, I'd seen her bare, smooth back, her figure more defined than in our school days, her dark hair draped over her shoulders. My heart was pounding wildly, and I couldn't help but shout, "You didn't know I was coming in?" She responded calmly, "I knew." Then why did you? Why did I what? Start changing? I'm changing in my own home. Is there a problem with that? I could only chuckle bitterly, holding my forehead. If it had been any other guy who walked in, they wouldn't have backed out like I did. A few minutes later, she came back in wearing slippers and stood by the door, raising an eyebrow to gesture for me to come inside. Everything settled, right? No more fans hounding you with insults? She handed me a box of strawberries. I took them to the kitchen to rinse. See, I'm amazing, right? Come on. Thank your benefactor. Actually, you didn't need to post that photo of me in a dress. Knowing she was about to say something else random, I quickly stuffed a strawberry into her mouth. Even though I'd prepared myself at home, standing here in front of Liu Ryan again, I suddenly felt nervous. Quietly, I pulled out my phone and searched how to confess a secret crush. The comments were filled with variations of the same message. If the person you like doesn't like you back, it's not love if they're not making a move. If they really cared, they wouldn't let you pine in silence. Reading this, I swallowed nervously. Is that true? Then I noticed a comment with thousands of likes that stood out. I bet there's at least one clueless childhood friend of Liu Ryan searching this right now. Everyone else was answering seriously, but this guy was just as spot on. Another comment with tens of thousands of likes said, "Tell that puppy. Just go for it. Kiss her. And see if Liu Ryan pushes him away." I held my breath. Unconsciously, I tightened my grip on my phone. Did I really have to be this direct? The next second, a slender, fair finger tapped my screen, leaving a bright red like on that comment. My mind went blank, racing wildly. Liu Ryan had been standing right beside me all along, and I hadn't noticed. And now she was using my account to give it a like. This planet suddenly felt too small for the both of us. Liu Ryan smiled at me, her eyes bright. "Just do what the comment says. Let's see if I push you away." You think I haven't been obvious? If I loved you, how could I leave you guessing all alone? My mind buzzed, like 1,000 fireworks exploding. Then, as if compelled by some unseen force, I leaned down and kissed her. When I finally pulled back, she paused for only a second before hooking her arms around my neck and pulling me in again, this time kissing me with an eager, almost chaotic passion. I didn't know how long we stayed like that, but when we finally parted, her cheeks were flushed. She whispered, "So, you're not going to dedicate yourself to me?" I nodded. "Yes, I'm all yours." Overjoyed, she leapt onto my back, tugging at my hair and shouting, "This is Liu Ryan's." Her hand slid to my cheek. "This is Liu Ryan's." Then her hand moved to my chest, giving it a squeeze. "This is Liu Ryan's too." Despite the perfect moment, I thought to myself, only Liu Ryan could turn it like this. Gritting my teeth, I let her claim me, until I carried her to the bedroom and closed the door. The next morning, as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Liu Ryan nestled in my arms, blinking her big eyes at me. So it turned out, she had always liked me. And it turned out, we had loved each other for a long time. We gazed at each other in silence. Then, suddenly, she burrowed her head under the blanket, murmuring, "Finally, my dream came true." That sounded suspicious. I pulled her out from under the blanket, asking, "So, what was going on back in high school?" Her face turned bright red, and she turned away, giving me only the back of her head. I was scared that if you found out people were after me, you'd really lose interest in me. So ... I told them ... I told them you were my boyfriend. But since dating wasn't allowed in high school, we had to keep it private. I even said ... that you're a super jealous guy. So jealous you wouldn't even let me look at a male dog. And if anyone confessed to me again, you'd... Kept a calm smile, finally understanding the key detail I'd missed. Though I wanted to stuff her back under the blanket in embarrassment, I kept my composure and asked, "You break their legs." No wonder those guys used to mumble okay and steer clear of her. No wonder the field emptied every time we wandered there. Manually inserting a smile, seeing me stay quiet, she turned back carefully and asked, "Are you mad?" I shook my head. If only I'd known back then that I already had the title of Liu Ryan's boyfriend, I definitely wouldn't have waited until now to exercise my rights. "Your smile looks dangerous." She pursed her lips. "It's good that you know. These past few years, I need to catch up." Not holding back, we were woken up by Sister Wang's phone call. Her sharp voice cut through the line. "The trending search has blown up again. You deal with it yourselves." It turns out, last night, Liu Ryan used my account to like a certain comment. It's been discovered. The comment section on my social media account is already flooded. Bro, you actually searched for confessing crush? So, how's it going? Did it work? At Liu Ryan, the whole world now knows your puppy is crushing on you. Honestly, I'm only concerned whether this bro managed to make a move. Did he go for a kiss? A whole night went by with no updates. At this hour, either the puppy is still in bed, or he's been tossed out, nowhere to be found. I hesitated, unsure of what to do. After all, Liu Ryan is a public figure. If my response isn't right, it could end up affecting her. The next second, Liu Ryan grabbed my phone. Using my social media account, she posted an update. "No rejection," she wrote. "I'm Liu Ryan." The comments exploded instantly. "Oh my god. My goddess. Couldn't you have played a little hard to get? The puppy won you over so easily." Liu Ryan used the puppy's phone. They were together last night. The whole night. Come kill me now. Cheers for my queen and her puppy. Today, I make an announcement. Pure romance literature is truly the best. Liu Ryan then hands me her phone. She raises her brows, signaling with her eyes. On her social media, I leave a still from a scene on her account. It's a live streaming variety show challenge. The latest photo in the album. I am Jong Wonson. Liu Ryan's new drama begins filming. She plays Her Majesty, the Noble Queen. I bring a few boxes of strawberries to visit the set. From a distance, I see Liu Ryan in a tight cheongsam. 10-centimeter heels beneath her feet. Her long black hair pinned up. The entire aura screams, "Keep your distance." She catches sight of me, and without minding her heels, stumbles over and throws herself into my arms. My obedient puppy. Came to see mommy? I consider giving her a light smack on the head, but the curious glances around make me hold back. She pulls me into the trailer. The moment we're inside, she clings to me completely, mumbling, "The heels are too high." So tiring. I look at her swollen ankle, carefully taking off her shoes. Blowing on it makes the pain go away. I gently blow on her ankle with concern. The next second, Liu Ryan tucks her foot right into my lap, raising a brow. "Call me Your Majesty." I laugh, holding her foot through the fabric against my chest. "Your Majesty, allow me to massage your feet. Is your waist sore? Let me rub it for you. Tonight, how about I serve you well?"